Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, yes, we are recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the May 10th, 2022 occurrence of the Brigade Community Meeting. And it looks like it's just George and myself so far today. That's fine. Others can join us in progress if they show up. I do know that there are quite a number of people who I normally count on being here who are at DockerCon today. So that's where some folks are. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen. And pardon me. Let's see, can we see that? And is it large enough to read? Yes, okay. All right, so we don't have an especially robust agenda today. I think we're gonna get through this pretty quickly. It's almost a little embarrassing, but the main thing that we have to talk about today is the same thing that we had to talk about last week, which was the fix for probably one of the most major bugs that we've become aware of, and that is that Brigade does not work with Git repositories hosted on Azure DevOps. So 2 weeks ago at this time, we thought that we had a solution to that problem, and then we cut a release candidate, and as we started trying to actually live with that release candidate in our dog food cluster, actually using it to build Brigade itself, we very quickly ran into some issues that we hadn't discovered in the course of development. So it sent us back to the drawing board, and that issue has continued to occupy, speaking for myself at least, most of my development time over the past 2 weeks. But I do think we finally have it licked. And as soon as I can get another maintainer to sign off on it, we'll be cutting a second release candidate for version 2.5.0. And what we'd like to do is ask the community to get involved in helping us to test that. The support for Git repositories on Azure DevOps is basically really the only change from v2.4.0 to 2.5.0. We're not simply revving the patch version, because we completely re-implemented the Git initializer component. And it felt a little strange and unnatural to completely re-implement a component and only rev the patch version. So we're revving the minor version. I can share a little bit more details about why all of this is. So Azure DevOps, compared to most other Git providers, they insist on clients implementing all of the latest parts of the different, I'm sorry, the latest parts of the Git spec. I don't pretend to understand the technical details of it in all their nitty gritty glory. But basically it's something, it involves something called multi-ack. So the library that we've been using to work with Git repositories, it was Git Go, and they don't implement multi-ack. So basically there was no possibility of continuing to use that library and also working with Azure DevOps. So we did spend 2 weeks trying to pivot and use libgit2, which is a C library. So that was a little difficult because it involved a lot of CGO and you know, that was difficult to compile, especially on Windows. It was difficult to compile, and we thought we had it working really well. But as it turns out, they didn't support one very specific thing that we really needed, which was the ability to do a shallow clone based only on a Git SHA. So we need to be able to do that because sometimes Brigade receives an event and that event says, hey, you need to go check out this very specific SHA from the remote repository and you need to go build that. Well, their library does not support that. And we didn't discover that until the 11th hour. So the new approach that we're taking goes back to the old library. And unfortunately, what we have to do is we have to exec out to the Git CLI for certain operations. Basically, any kind of a fetch operation, we have to shell out to the Git CLI. It turns out we're not the only project that has had this difficulty. Argo has dealt with this, Flux has dealt with this. There's quite a large number of projects that have, iterated and gone through these same steps that we have. And as it turns out, some of the issues with libgit2 that make it unusable for us at the moment are probably going to clear up over time. So we can revisit this in the future, because I know that, shelling out to the, Git command line is not a glamorous approach to all of this. So there might be something more strategic that we're able to do in the future. But for now, this PR that we have open should enable us to finally work with Azure DevOps repos. So that's really the only big thing I had to talk about today. I am going to also turn it over to George. He's going to give us an update about the Portuguese translation of the docs, which he and I think Felipe have. Is it Felipe or Felipe?
Yeah, Felipe and Lucas did the revision. Lucas was the one that ended up doing the revision. I added Felipe as a owner.
Okay, great.
I still can see him as a reviewer. Not sure if I have to do something else. If you can double check. I changed the code, the owners, but I'm not sure why I can't see Felipe as a possible reviewer.
Yeah, I think the reason for that is because, so dealing with code owners and who's allowed to have like the green check show up on GitHub, it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. I believe the thing that's probably, if he's listed in the code owners file and he's not, if his reviews aren't being accepted, it's because he has to have write permissions on that repository in order for Git to actually, in order for GitHub to actually respect that his name is listed in the code owners file. Both of those conditions have to be satisfied. So I can help you straighten that out. That's not a problem.
Okay, great. Yeah, that one. And but Lucas did for the introduction, for the intro. I did all the files for intro myself, and Lucas did the review. And we meshed that on Sunday. And I started doing the topics.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 pull requests already. That's why I did maybe Felipe, because I think Lucas will be busy this week. And then I was trying to get Felipe to help as well on the review. But there are 2, I'm doing a pull request per file now to simplify. Maybe you can have more than one person doing review. And I did a couple, I did rows and I did the examples file. And I'm finishing the design one.
Okay,
The
great.
design is the long one. Yeah, I'll be finishing probably today the design, and I'm doing another pull request. And if you look at the Docs Portuguese repo, I created a few like issues there. And if anyone else, listening, and then they can also start any one of those issues. Just assign yourself or just leave a comment there. And yeah, we're happy for anyone to help.
Okay.
I'm trying to get this done and use the community to do the review.
Now, in terms of integrating those into the documentation site, I opened up a draft PR quite a while ago, showing how all of that might work. And what I'll do is I'll go update it so that it works using submodules. So basically it pulls in everything from your repository at a certain specific version. So I will go and update that and change it from draft status to something that's reviewable. So I will go do that right after this call. And then what that will enable us to do is to start having the Portuguese docs out there probably later today. It won't be the complete doc tree. It'll be just the parts that you guys have completed so far. But we can probably have that available later today.
Nice, nice. I can probably have to just to check the index if the links are correct. I think that's the only page that is not, pointing to the right folder. And how are they going to switch to the Portuguese version on the docs page?
I've got that all worked out. There will be there'll be a link in the upper right hand corner where you can select language.
Great.
Yeah. So we do get also previews of our docs whenever we open a PR. There's always we use Netlify for the docs, and they can give us a preview of what the docs look like if the PR gets merged. So I'll point you at that as well, so that we can both of us make sure that it looks the way we want it to look. Obviously, I don't read Portuguese, so I leave, I leave validating the content up to you, but you'll get an idea of how it works in terms of selecting a language, and you'll be able to look and see and make sure that things aren't showing up in the tree that haven't been translated yet and things like that.
Yeah, nice. That's very good. And Kent, I also did like a meetup in Sri Lanka, was in English, it's on YouTube. Probably going to publish on the Slack channel, the link there.
Oh, awesome.
And it was about Brigade. I was presenting Brigade on the Kubernetes meetup in Sri Lanka. And
very nice.
Yes, I post there on Slack if someone want to watch as well.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, people should post those things to the Slack channel. And if yeah, any good content that people want to share on the Slack channel, I'm willing to go add it to the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, and I'm also doing the Git in Portuguese, the video that you did for for the new contributors. Yep, I downloaded your version. I'm just getting some images, and I'm going to do the same in Portuguese. Try to be a little bit shorter, but I'm trying to do the same content, similar content in Portuguese as well.
Awesome.
And if that goes well, we can go for the 5 minutes videos as well and do the same.
Hey, if you want to, George, I can share the video file with you, and you can just replace the soundtrack if you want to. If you want to keep the same video and just do a voiceover, I don't know what your approach was going to be, but if you want to do that, I'm happy to share it.
Yeah, I was able to download from YouTube, but
okay. Does it help to have the original just in terms of fidelity?
I think it probably be easier to do again.
Okay.
Following, I did like a script, all the steps that you covered there, and probably be easier for me than, follow your pace. Maybe I can do my different pace. Yeah, I was planning to do exactly like that, following your video and just do the audio, but probably be easier to do myself.
Okay.
The only thing I cannot use the repo that you use, because I don't think I'm able to create a repo. If you let me to create a repo inside, the Brigade core, I can create the same repo that you did. I think likewise git demo or something, or git hello.
Yeah.
But I can use my own, GitHub as well.
Yeah, either of those works. I'll see what I can do about that after the call.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. So I don't think we have anything left to cover unless you have anything, George.
No, good. I'm probably going to start the Discord this week or next. The gateway for Discord. I looked the library. I was playing with the library that, there's a Go library for Discord. If you have any recommendation, let me know. But I found one library.
Sure.
I'm going to stick with that one if that works fine.
And I've heard that their docs are very good also.
The docs for the API. Yeah, I found it like a Go, kind of SDK in Go. Yeah, it looks like very stable with a lot of stars and should be safe to start using this one then.
Awesome. Very good.
But
all right. Well,
thanks a lot.
I think that's it for today then. So I will post this to YouTube tomorrow, and we'll see everybody again in 2 weeks. And the meeting 2 weeks from today, I believe, starts at 11 a.m. Pacific.
But there's a KubeCon coming. KubeCon, how is going to do it?
Yeah, is KubeCon is next week, right?
It is next.
Yeah,
okay.
KubeCon is next week. These are every other week. So I think we should be okay to stick with our regular schedule.
Okay.
All right.
There's office hours there as well.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
Thank you.
See everybody on the internet.
You too. Bye.
Bye.